boys and girls! We meet again in this lesson of the Year 4 Mathematics from iTTV. How are you doing? I'm Pui Yi, your tutor for today. In the previous lesson, we have learned about subtraction of whole numbers. Now let's go through the answers together. Have you finished all the questions? Let's go. The first question was 82,114 minus 43,198 minus 88. Okay, so now since we have three numbers here, we will take the first two numbers first. Okay, take 82,114 minus 43,198. That gives us 38,916, and then only we subtract 88 from it. Our answer is then 38,828. Is that your answer too? What about for the second question? Form the largest and the smallest 5-digit number from these digits. We have 3, 2, 7, 0, and 1. What is the difference between the two numbers? Alright, so we are asked to form the largest number. That means the number should start from the biggest to the smallest. Okay, so we have 73,210. As for the smallest number, we should start with the smallest digits first. Okay, but we cannot have 0 in front of the number, or else we will omit the 0. So we have to put 1 first. Alright, so we have the smallest number, 10,237. Now we are asked to find the difference. So you take 73,210 minus 10,237. That will give us 62,973. That is our answer. Now let's go on to the third question. What must be added to 27,980 to get 75,000? Now the question wants us to find out which number must be added to 27,980 so that we get 75,000. Now let's say this number is A. So A plus 27,980 gives us 75,000. Now remember that subtraction is the inverse operation of addition. So A equals 75,000 minus 27,980. So now you can find out what is the value of A. After you have done the subtraction, you will realize that the number is 47,020. Okay? If you'd like to check the answer, you can take this number and add it to 27,980. It will give you 75,000. Alright, now for the last question. Bandar Melati has a population of 45,482. 25,120 of them are males. How many females are there in Bandar Melati? Alright, first of all, let us try to understand the question first. Now, this town, Bandar Melati, has a population of 45,482. That means everybody. Okay, and then we have males and females in the town. For males, we know there are 25,120. Now we want to find out the number of females. So how do we solve that? What operation should we use? Subtraction. We take the population, the total number of the people living there, and we minus the number of males. Let's say the number of females is X. X plus 25,120 equals the population, which is 45,482. So X equals 45,482 minus 25,120. Once you have done the subtraction, it will give you the answer 20,362. That is the number of females in Bandar Melati. Alright, how did you fare? Did you get 4 correct answers? I sure hope so. Now, let's move on to our lesson for today. Welcome back. Boys and girls, do you remember that in year 3 you have learned multiplication facts? Yeah? Okay, now I know of a girl called Selena who needs some help with her multiplication facts. Just as a warm-up for you, can you help Selena with her multiplication facts? Look at the questions here and tell me what are the answers. Complete the equation. The first one. What times 5 equals 30? The second one. 4 times 8 equals, what is the answer? The third one. 3 times blank equals 27. What is the missing number? Oh, there is another one. 6 times 6 equals, what is the product? And lastly, blank times 8 equals 64. Okay, boys and girls, I sure hope you can help Selena with her questions on multiplication facts. Now, I have the answers with me. Let's check if you have gotten all of them right. Okay, let's see if you can remember all the multiplication facts or not. Now, let's check the answers. 6 times 5 equals 30. The second one, 4 times 8 equals 32. And the third one, 3 times 9 equals 27. The missing number is 9. And for the next one, 6 times 6 equals 36, of course. And 8 times 8 gives us 64. Okay, boys and girls, thank you so much for helping Selena with her multiplication facts. That reminds me, today we'll be learning about multiplication of whole numbers. Well, do you know that multiplication is the process of repeated addition? Okay, take a look. So here I have a ball with 6 magnets in it. Okay? Wow. Take a look how colorful they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah? There are 6 magnets in a bowl. If I have 5 bowls with 6 magnets in each of them, that would be 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. Do you see? That's repeated addition. That means we can also use multiplication to find out the total number of magnets. Just take 6 times 5. Isn't that easy? Now, the answer for a multiplication question is also called a product. Yeah? And sometimes we call multiply as times. I'm sure you have heard of that. Now, before we go into more questions, I would like to share some handy tips about multiplication with you. Let's take a look together. Now, any number multiplied by 0 is 0. For example, if you have 57,829, multiply by 0, your answer is 0. Okay? Remember, any number multiplied by 0 gives you 0. And here's the second tip. Any number multiplied by 1 is the number itself. So no matter how big the number you have, for example, 99,999, multiply by 1, you will get back the same answer, which is 99,999. Okay? It's that easy. Now, in multiplication, changing the order of numbers does not affect the product. For example, if you have 5 times 6 equals to 30, 6 times 5 will give you the same answer, which is also 30. Okay? Remember this. When multiplying two numbers in vertical form, put the bigger number on top to make it easier for calculation. For example, if we have two numbers here, put the bigger number on top. That's 2,908. Yeah? And put 17 below. Alright. Now that we have gone through the handy tips, let's try to solve a question. A school bus can carry 42 students. How many students can 6,285 buses carry? Whoa, that's a lot of buses, isn't it? Now let's try to understand the question first. Now we know that one school bus can carry 42 students. And now we have 6,285 buses. how many students can all these buses carry? That would be 42 plus 42 plus 42 plus 42 for 6,000 over times. So, we can simplify the calculation by using multiplication. Okay? So, we take 42 multiplied by 6,285. Okay? This is the number of passengers that can fit into one bus. And this is the number of buses that we have. Okay, multiplication. Remember the handy tip just now? When we want to write it in vertical form, we put the bigger number on top. Okay? Now, this is the number sentence in horizontal form. Now, I'm going to write it in vertical form. So, I put a larger number on top. Then multiply 42. Alright, let's start. Okay, before I proceed, I would like you to take note that we must arrange the numbers according to their place value, okay? Take a look. The 4 here belongs to tens, so I must put it together with the tens, yeah? To write it over here or over here would be wrong, okay? Now, let's close the digit 4 and multiply 2 by 5. We have 10. Write the 0 here and the 1 here. Continue. 2 times 8, 16 plus 1, 17. And then the 1 here. 2 times 2 gives us 4 plus 1, that will be 5. And finally, 2 times 6 gives us 12. Now we can write the whole number here. And then we close the digit 2. And now we multiply by 4. Since 4 is at the place value of tens, which we will write here, there is nothing here. So we will write a 0 for the ones, okay? Now 4 times 5 gives us 20. So write the 0 here and the 2 here for regrouping. Now 4 times 8 gives us 32 plus 2, 34. And a small 3 over here. 4 times 2, 8 plus 3, that would be 11. 1 here and 1 here. Continue. 6 times 4, that's 24. Plus 1, 25. 5 and 2. Now we add them up. Alright, let's go. 0 plus 0, that's 0. Over here we have 7. And then 9. 2 plus 1, that's 3. 1 plus 5, 6. And over here we have 2. Okay, so the answer is 263,970 students. That is the number of passengers that all these buses can carry. Whoa, that's a lot of students, isn't it? Boys and girls, we can use lattice multiplication to check our answer. You know how does a lattice multiplication chart look like? Okay, as you can see here, I have a lattice multiplication chart. So, I fill in the numbers. Just now, we had 42 passengers in one bus. The total number of buses, 6,285. Alright, so when we use a lattice multiplication, this is what we do. Close the bottom row and just take 4 multiply by 5. What do you get? 20. And we write it like this, 20. Next, 8 times 4, 32. Just write the digits like this and continue. 2 times 4, 8. 8, so that's 0 for tens. 6 times 4, 24. Okay, now we close this row and multiply the numbers here by 2. 2 times 5, 10. 8 times 2, 16. Continue. We have 4. And finally, 6 times 2 gives us 12. After we have done that, we add according to the colors, okay? The diagonal columns. 0 here, so 0. 0 plus 1 plus 6 gives us 7. 2 plus 2, 4. Plus 1, 5. Plus 4, 9. Over here, 3 plus 8 plus 2. Okay, pair of 10s. Over here, 10 plus 3, 13. So, I will regroup 1 to the next column. 4 plus 1 plus 1, 6. And over here, I have 2. So, our answer is 263,970. Okay, so now you know another method to multiply. Next, I want to teach you how to multiply numbers by 10, 100 and 1000 easily. You can actually get the answer in 5 seconds. Don't believe me? I'll show you how. Okay, I have 3 questions for you. Take a look at the questions first. Find the product 52 times 10, 52 times 100 and 1000 times 52. Okay? Now for the first question, we have 52 multiplied by 10. Now whenever we multiply a whole number by 10, we just copy down the whole number and add a 0 to the back. That's the answer. When we multiply any number by 10, it is the number with a 0 at the back. Okay? For the next question, 52 times 100, what do you think is the answer? Okay? We take the original number and add 2 zeros to the back. See? There are 2 zeros here. 1, 2. So we have 1, 2 zeros over here. The next one, 1000 times 52 equals. Remember, for multiplication, changing the order of the numbers does not affect the products. So it is also the same as 52 times 1000. Okay? So we have 52 and with 3 zeros at the back. 52,000. Isn't that easy? See? I told you, you can get the answer for each one in less than 5 seconds. Now let's go on to our next segment. It's that simple. Boys and girls, you have learned about proper fraction. Yeah, a proper fraction has a numerator that is smaller than its denominator. Now, an improper fraction has a numerator that is greater than its denominator. An improper fraction is always greater than this number that we want to find out. What number is this? Okay, do you know what the answer is? It's 1. Now you see, that's because an improper fraction has a numerator that is greater or bigger than the denominator. So for example, 4 over 3. That is an improper fraction. 4 over 3 is greater than 3 over 3 or 1 whole. So you can see an improper fraction is always greater than number 1. It is that simple. Okay? Now boys and girls, grab your pen and paper as I'm going to give you some questions to try at home. Question 1. Find the product of 809 and 53. Second question, 10 times 5,699. The third question, okay, take a look at this diagram. The diagram above shows the number of pages of a photo album. Sabri wants to put a photograph on each page. If he has 1,720 photo albums, will there be enough space for 50,000 photos? And the fourth question, a new shopping mall gets 1,000 shoppers a day. How many shoppers are there in the month of August? Alright, boys and girls, looks like that's all the time we have for today's lesson. Let's recap what we have learned today. Today, we have learned about multiplication of whole numbers. Now, when we multiply a number by another number with 2 digits, we arrange the bigger number on top when we write in vertical form. Yeah? And then we close the digit at the place value of tens and we multiply the number by the digit at the place value of ones. And then after that, we do the same for the digit at the place value of tens, but we add a 0 to the back. We add them together, and that is our answer. We also call it a product. When we multiply a number by 10, 100, or 1000, we add 1 or 2 or 3 zeros to the back. Okay? So that is quite easy. I hope you will try out all the questions that I've given you, because I'm going to check the answer with you in the next lesson. So I'll see you then. Take care and bye-bye.